Good evening, Father. Good evening,
Oh,
Father. Good
doing
evening,
well?
friends. We are
So,
fine.
welcome. And everybody, we have entered the holy season of Lent. And friends, now we are trying to understand our inner child and take care of our inner child by even incorporating Lenten practices into our spirituality. So welcome one and all. Cross has got two bars, two pieces of wood, one vertical, the other one horizontal. Okay. Yesterday, we spoke about this horizontal beam that is called a comfort attachment. Friends, today we go to ego attachment. And so a little verse, I will start with a prayer, then we can continue. A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verses 27. But God chose what is foolish in the world to shame the wise. God chose what is weak in the world to shame the strong. Gracious God, loving Abba, we, your children, have come into your threshold, and today we are glad to begin our Lenten season. This is a time when we can get closer to you and closer to one another. Help us, Lord, to understand your ways in our lives during this Lent. We all have wounded inner child, and Lord God, you are our refuge. You are our good shepherd. You are our strength. We place our inner child in your hands. Wounded we are, and yet we are precious in your eyes. Thank you, Lord, for all these good sisters and brothers who are the pillar of our society, our church. In our good efforts, Lord, be their good companion. Strengthen them at every moment of their lives. Every time we are confronted by this comfort attachment and ego attachment, let your Spirit guide us with his wisdom so that holding on to you, Lord, we might get the lessons of our lives and convert them into our beautiful ministry. At this moment, we also place at your hands the terrible turmoil caused to this entire world because of the war that is going on between Russia and Ukraine. May your Holy Spirit hover over those leaders. May they be inspired to work for peace and prosperity. We make our prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Excuse me, Papa.
Okay, friends. Friends, yesterday I spoke about comfort attachment. Okay. It's natural for everybody to expect comfort from our life, from everything we do. Okay. Right from our room until our journey, we want comfort in every area. Nothing wrong. But this comfort attachment can actually take us away from the mission. It can convert pain into suffering. So friends, when there is a discomfort, there is a pain. If we understand the meaning of the cross, this very discomfort can be converted into a source of a blessing. Once I had gone to a place in India. I was preaching a retreat for sisters of a province, a particular congregation in Andhra. And while I was preaching retreat, there was a religious sister from the US. She was also staying there and she was going through the retreat. Now, during lunchtime, as we were having lunch, I saw that American sister. Her name was Sister Carmel. Sister Carmel, she took a pickle bottle and she tried to take a spoonful of a pickle and she was about to consume it. I said, sister, sorry, that's not, it looks like a jam, but it's not jam. It is, Andhra hot pickle. It's very pungent. I said, American body will not agree with this pickle, I said. So when I said it is too hot, she literally smiled at me. She said, Father, I want to give a testimony. You can use it for your preaching. And this is what she said. Sister Carmel grew up in the US in a very affluent family. When she was a teenager, she happened to see the biography or the movie on St. Francis of Assisi. She was right away, she was really, it was so appealing to her, and she liked St. Francis, and she right away wanted to become a Franciscan. Against the will of her family, she joined the Franciscan order, a Franciscan congregation, and she was a happy girl. When she was about to finish her novitiate, during the provincial visitation, provincial asked her, she said, honey, friends, does your superior or provincial call you honey? But sometimes in the US, they say honey, okay? Provincial said, honey, after your first vows, first profession, we have to put you in a ministerial place. Where would you like to go? And this girl said, sister, send me to a mission country, a poor country where I can follow my Franciscan values. I'll be happy to go to any country. Okay. Sister Carmel's background was Spanish. She was fluent with Spanish, and she knew English as well, being in the US. So provincial said, honey, would you like to go to a country called Paraguay? It's a South American country, and we have our convents there. Would you like to go there? She said, absolutely. She was so delighted to go to Paraguay, okay? She liked everything about Paraguay, okay? She loved the ministry there, okay? Those Franciscan sisters were mostly taking care of the pastoral ministry, and in the evenings, they would go visit villages and have this basic Christian community gatherings. She was absolutely delighted. But there were two things that were challenged to her, okay? Friends, foremost, that water, it was not the regular RO system water, filtered water. It was just ordinary water from the well or from the lake, direct into the pot. Every time she drank that water, this was many years back, okay? She had stomach upset and diarrhea. Sometimes in that water, there were also little worms squirming. And it was disgusting for her, even to look at that water. It was not clear. She was so much used to that filtered water. Okay. Now, the second one was, every evening when she went to the village, during supper time, they served beef. But she was so used to beef well done, well cooked. But there it was not well cooked. It was not even half done. It was maybe even quarter. It was smelling, and there was a blood oozing from the meat, from beef. So it was disgusting for her. Every time she ate that beef, she had stomach upset and diarrhea. So within a few days, she got dehydrated. Okay, she was admitted in the hospital, and the doctor said, sister, you're fine, except the food is not agreeing with your body. If you remain here, you might have dehydration and you might even die. You better go back to your country. Okay. And then she was brought back to the convent, and superior said, honey, you are a good girl, but your body is not agreeing with this place, with this food. So you better go back to your country. And she said, sister, please, don't send me back. Okay, give me a few days, little grace time, and then I will tell you whether I want to go back. Sister said, hey, but don't take a chance. She said, no, sister, I will let you know if I have to go back. And the following morning, the superior said, honey, we are all going for a pastoral ministry. You better remain in the convent because you're not feeling well. Okay, you cook your own food. And everybody went away. She was alone. She went to the chapel and Carmel said, Jesus, this is not fair. You called me in order to be a missionary. You gave me that inspiration. And why would you want to, send me back so soon? I hardly came here a few days and I love this, my ministry. I love this community. And you want me to go back. She said, I'm not going to go back. Friends, everybody wants comfort, right? She was so used to comfort of the US. Now, she had to make a shift. She turned to her body and said, my dear body, you are my vehicle. You are my car. Now, my dear car, mind you, you have to obey me. I'm your master, my dear body. You are not my master. You got to obey me. Okay? When I'm driving, when I turn right, you're turning left. I want to remain here. I want to be a missionary. And my dear body, you are not cooperating with me. Now, I want to tell you, I'm not going to go back. I'm going to remain here and I'm going to die here. So, my dear body, now start obeying my command. Okay, I'm the child of God. You're my vehicle. You're my car. Okay, you got to listen to me. You don't be my master. And she said, I'm going to drink the same water, my dear body. I'm going to eat that same beef. You got to get acclimatized. And she went, took a little water. She once again had stomach upset. Okay. But friends, little by little, her body was getting stronger and stronger. Her stomach was getting stronger within 3 weeks. Okay. She said within a week, her body was okay with the water. Within 3 weeks, she was able to eat the beef and she was able to digest it so well. Friends, afterward, she became a bundle of joy. She did all her mission with joy, bubbling with happiness, agile and active. She said she was in Paraguay for 35 long years. She never felt sick. Others were getting malaria and typhoid and all kinds of sickness. She had rare little fever or cold. Other than that, she was hale and healthy for 35 years. Why? She was ready to take any kind of comfort or discomfort. Okay. So she was able to convert discomfort into a pleasure. She was happy with that water. She became happy with the food. And her body started getting adjusted. Friends, after 35 years, she was elected the general counselor. She had to move to Rome. When she went to Rome, in the first meeting, she was put in charge of Indian province, all the provinces in India. So she had to visit the Indian provinces. So she called one of the sisters, who was in the generalate. She was an Indian sister. She said, sister, I am in charge of India. Now tell me something about your culture, your everything about India. And that sister started describing everything about India. And she said, but sister, I want to tell you something. The food in India is really hot. It is pungent. And you Americans, your body is not used to that hot food. So your first assignment is to Andhra. So when you go to Andhra, I will ask those communities to provide special food for you. And Sister Carmel said, oh, no, 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 no. You know, this body is my car. It will obey my command. She said, I don't want India to adjust to me. I want my body to get adjusted to India. Okay, I want to become an Indian when I'm there. And she said, what is the hottest food available? She said, Andhra pickle is the hottest food. She said, come on, have this money, go to the shop, buy me 2 bottles of pickle, Indian pickle, hot pickle. Get the hottest pickle. And that sister was little nervous. Anyway, she bought 2 bottles of pickle. She opened 1 bottle and said, my dear pickle, you're from India. I love you. And my dear body, you're my vehicle, right? Come on, accept this pickle. Saying that, she just touched, and with that, she touched that tongue. So just a drop of pickle on her tongue, immediately, you know, her body started burning, hot, too much. But she kept on saying, I love pickle. My dear body, get used to this pickle. Okay, it's great. She kept on saying, friends, within a couple of months, she was able to eat pickle with ease. And only then she came to India. Okay, friends, while she was having lunch with me, she was enjoying the pickle as well. Actually, for me, pickle was too hot. So I was avoiding pickle, but for her, it was a delicacy. Why? Her body got used to it. So children, am I making sense? Okay. Yeah. So what do you do in your life, in your religious life? Whenever there is discomfort, like Sister Carmel, you can tell your body, hey, my dear body, I know you love comfort. I know. Okay. But, okay, I've come here for a mission. So for the sake of mission, my dear car, come on, obey my command. When you say this, okay, your body will get used to any kind of situation, climate, everything. Okay, friends? Friends, it all depends on how we really train our body, our mind. Okay, say I know 2 families. There was a family, their daughter was getting married. And when she was pregnant in India, they go back to mother's house for delivery, right? Usually the first delivery is done in a mother's house, or staying in mother's house, they have delivery. Okay. When the daughter came for a delivery, parents thought, it was the summertime. If they provide an air-conditioned room for the daughter, then the baby would be comfortable. So they provided air-conditioned room. Okay. The baby was born. The baby was all the time in that cool room, air-conditioned room. Okay. Like 18 degrees or 20 degrees within that. The child was so used to it. Okay. Later, when this boy grew up, he was put in a school that is on a hill station. Once again, chill place. Okay, friends. Now, he's a big boy. He's a teenager. Friends, now he cannot be in any place other than air-conditioned, a room. If he travels, there has to be air-conditioned. Otherwise, he gets hot flushes, all sorts of problems. He cannot tolerate heat at all. Why? The parents, they made his life very comfortable with, like chillness in the room all the time. Now he's unable to take any kind of, warm weather. And he gets upset. He becomes sick. He suffers a lot if there is no air conditioning. Okay, I know another family. Their daughter was in England. While she was pregnant, she came home for delivery back to India. And when she came, it was June, hot climate, hot weather. Okay, so, those parents, they wanted comfort for the baby. So they provided this girl air-conditioned room. But you know what that girl said? Dad and mom, no. Yeah, I do come from a cold country, but I want my baby to, get adjusted to any climate, to any weather. So she never made use of air conditioning. In fact, she would, even during the hottest time of the day, she even did not use a fan. Why? She said, let the baby get used to it. And there were times they went to England, it was so cold, and they came to India warm, and the baby was exposed to both cold and heat equally. Friends, now this boy can travel anywhere. He's also a teenager. He just gets used to anything like that. Am I clear? Friends, his family is in a city. Now, whenever they visit their home village, okay, native place, this boy goes there, and in that village, all these facilities are not there. Okay. In fact, they even sleep in the open space. They don't have a swimming pool. They go to the common river for bath and all that. Friends, when I asked the teenager, which place do you like the most? England or the city or the village? He said, village is the one I love the most. Why? A lot of children to play with, good friends, and open air. And their swimming pool is much bigger because big river. And bedroom is even bigger because outside, sleeping outside. Okay. Friends, a boy thoroughly enjoys the village life. Why? He was used to any kind of weather, climate, situation. Everything is so adjustable. So, friends, our body can get used to any kind of food or any other. Within 3 to 4 months, if you keep telling your body, hey, body, you are my car, you are my vehicle, you got to obey me, I'm your master. Got it? So, friends, why do we have 40 days for Lent? You want to get used to any situation, 40 days is a good time. That's why we have 40 days of Lent. Actually, it's more than 40 days. Okay. So, friends, if you can train yourself for 40 days, say you want to inculcate a new habit, maybe every day you want to recite a rosary or two privately. So do it for 40 days. It will become your habit. It'll be easy. Okay. Or you want to do spiritual reading every day, half an hour or whatever. You decide and do it for 40 days, even though there is discomfort involved. Okay. After 40 days, you would get, it'll become a piece of cake. You will get used to that so well. Children, do you get me? Okay. Same way you want to give up any bad habit, some habit that you don't like. Okay. 40 days is a good time. By the way, friends, when I say bad habit, anything that is connected to your emotions, your mind, thinking, all that. But you cannot just give up something connected to your instinct. Am I clear? So don't take any effort to give up some habit that is based on your instinct. For example, can you say, I'm not going to eat for 40 days? Sorry, hunger is an instinct. Very difficult to push it away. Same way, you cannot say, I don't want to have sexual feelings for 40 days. That's impossible. Okay? Because that's part of our instinct. But there are certain things you can focus on. For example, you can say, I will not gossip for 40 days. I will not speak ill of anybody. Okay? Is that possible? If you are able to sustain this for 40 days, after that you will be able to sustain it lifelong. Friends, do you get what I'm saying? Okay. Now let's go on to the second type of comfort we all have. It's called ego attachment. What is this ego attachment? Friends, like everybody, we want comfort. We also have ego attachment. Okay. What is ego attachment? Well, every one of us we expect a few things from others. This is coming from our ego. It's natural, okay? I'm not condemning it. It's natural. Number one is everyone should treat me fairly. You are expecting everybody to treat you properly. Okay, that's a ego attachment. Number two, I should succeed always. Every time you make an effort, you want to be successful. You don't want failure at all. Okay, you want everything to give you success. Every time you make an effort, you want to be successful. Okay, friends, let us think of Jesus. Do you think everybody treated him fairly? Okay, even Jesus was not treated him fairly. We know about the cross and death on the cross, unfair treatment to God, to a God-man, okay? And B, do you think everything Jesus did was a success? No. There were times Jesus did have failure, okay? So like there were places he went, people didn't even receive him properly, okay? He didn't succeed. People said, this fellow must be they even called him, you glutton. They told him, you drunkard. And they said, this fellow is mad. He is not himself. Okay, and finally, friends, the very cross, death on the cross says, his life itself actually ended up in failure. After that, of course, he rose from the dead. Okay, friends? And third, love should go smooth all the time. Friends, you are expecting this from others. If I like somebody, they should also like me. If I love somebody, they should also love me. And the moment I love somebody, everything should go, smooth. We should be like, romantic every day, dancing and singing, feeling great. That's what we are expecting. Okay. General, shall I put it this way? Friends, do you think everything went smooth for Jesus? The people he loved also loved him in the same way, same manner? No. See, let's say 12 people he chose especially. Among them, 3 of them he loved intensely. Like Peter, John, and James. Now, what happened? When he was in trouble, these fellows fled for life. Peter even, he slung mud on Jesus. He even set some galleys, against Jesus. Okay. So friends, imagine if Jesus' life did not go well, what about us? But it is natural to expect all these from life. Friends, now, please keep this in mind. Friend, these are called frames. Can you take down frames? Now, what are frames? Every time you expect something from the world, it's called a frame. Friends, those who have notebook and pen, can you take down a few frames you have? Okay. So what are frames? See, this is a frame. Everybody should respect me. Everybody should love me. Everybody should accept me. Everybody should understand me. Okay. Friends, there are another set of frames we have, expectations of others. See, some of us, all these are not actually healthy frames. They are unhealthy expectations. Now, expecting like everybody should be truthful. Everybody should be loyal. Nobody should tell lies. People should be punctual. If I set a time, they have to be here on time. Am I clear? Every one of us, we have frames like this. And whenever people are not fitting into this frame, we really get upset and angry. Okay, friends. Okay, friends, let me give you my own example of a frame and how I dealt with that. Okay. Friends, once I was invited to Goa for a seminar. It was a seminar for school teachers. So there were teachers from many schools who were participating in that seminar. There were around 200 people, teachers attending the seminar. Now, during the seminar, I was treated royally. Excellent treatment, 5-star treatment from morning till evening. During lunchtime, the teachers were even lining up because they had a lot of queries in their mind. They wanted to clarify their doubts. So I was given so much of, I was acknowledged, I was respected, I felt great. So there's a little bit of ego. Okay. Now, it was 2-day seminar. First day evening, after the seminar was over, those sessions were over, first day sessions, I wanted to go for a walk. Now, I didn't want to go into the city, so I walked into the woods area, a little forest woods area. And as I was walking, I was having a good walk, brisk walking. All of a sudden, clouds gathered, it started pouring, heavy rain. So I was looking for a shelter. Yonder, I saw a house. Friends, I was not in my habit because it was just a walk, evening walk. So I was in my civil dress, casual, trouser and a little t-shirt. Okay. So I ran, I opened the gate. Now, I didn't want to enter the house and disturb the family. There was a garage, car garage. So I ran into the garage and took shelter because it was raining heavy. Hardly a few seconds, a girl came out of the house with an umbrella. She came to me and said, get out of this place. Okay. Friends, imagine morning I was treated royally, so well. And now the treatment is, I was just taking shelter and the girl said, get out. Naturally the ego comes. I got a little angry. And I looked there was a photo of Jesus and Mother Mary. So I figured out they were Catholics. I wanted to tell her, hey girl, you know what? I'm a Catholic priest. And over and above, where are you studying? In St. Mary's School? You know what? Today I gave seminar to your teachers. So I wanted to tell her, what a great guy I am. When I was about to say this, friends, suddenly I was reminded of a little parable of St. Francis. Okay, and then I kept quiet. Now, what is that parable? You all know about St. Francis. One evening, he had a friend, another brother called Brother Leo. So both St. Francis and Brother Leo were going for a walk, a stroll. Brother Leo asked, Brother Francis, what is perfect joy? What is happiness? Friends, this happened 800 years back, okay, in Italy, Assisi. Then he said, brother, I will portray a situation. If you are able to handle that situation, you can be happy anywhere, he said. Brother Leo asked, what situation? He says, those days, they used to go from one monastery to another, one convent to another, walking all the way. They were not using cars and buses, no train. They had to walk all the way up. Okay. And he said, supposing you are traveling about 60 kilometers and you are reaching a monastery. And by the time you reach, it's 11 p.m., no night. And what you're expecting is, as soon as you reach, they would give you hot soup and good supper, sumptuous meal, and then a good bed. That's what you're expecting. And it's snowing also, so you cover your body with a big blanket, with a robe. And then you knock at the door of the monastery. And, we say porter, the one who attends to the guests. He opens and he says, who are you? And saying, I'm Brother Wilson. I've come from so-and-so place and all that. He said, no. You are a thief, fellow. You are an imposter, okay? You are trying to cheat me? No way. He pushes you out. He shuts the door and off he goes. He says, no, you are falling on the floor and you are right into the snow. He said, when you are pushed into snow in the middle of the night by your own friar, if you are able to be happy at that time, you can be happy anywhere else. Children, do you get the point? So that particular story of St. Francis came to my mind. I said, why should I tell her who I am and all that? That's the ego, right? So I simply told her, thank you very much. And I walked off. And I didn't feel upset at all. Why? I knew this is an ego attachment. See, they are strangers. I'm a stranger to them. Why should I expect a respect from them? Just because I can handle a seminar, just because I'm a Catholic a priest, how can I expect respect from everybody? Am I clear? So friends, I'm not, morning, I was treated royally. I'm comfortable with this. And in the evening, I was asked to get out. I have to be equally comfortable. If I do both and I'm equally comfortable, friends, that's called, you come out of your ego attachment. Friends, those who are able to do this, you can lead a good community life. Okay, friends, from today, you start observing this. Every time you feel hurt by your community members, if you go deeper, you will realize you have a frame. Where does this frame come from? From your childhood. Am I clear? Friends, a child, it is expecting dad and mom to be fair. And at some point, it realizes, you might have realized, your parents are more favorable to your brother or sister. Then you feel parents are unjust. So they're not treating you fairly. What happens when you join the seminary convent? What happens is you come with this frame. Everybody should treat me fairly. Am I clear? Those of us who were not loved enough by our parents, friends, that is your experience, okay? Maybe your parents put you in a hostel. You were not home till you were 15 years, okay? Those who were growing up in a hostel, the child thinks parents don't like me anymore. They don't love me. Why? The child wants a direct attention. You didn't get it, okay? In the hostel, you are with 100 other people, 200 other people. You're not given special attention, no love, okay? Friends, now what happens when you join the convent seminary? You come with a frame. Everybody should love me. But sorry, if you didn't experience love when you were a child, now even in the convent or seminary, you may not experience love. Am I clear? Friends, if your parents did not treat you fairly, you would have same treatment even in religious life and in your seminary life. Got it? Same way, if you realize your parents didn't understand you, you would invite same experience even in your formation. So don't expect any magical treatment from others in your formation. Am I clear? Friends, every time you are hurt by your companions, by your formators, please keep this in mind. There is some hurt feeling at the root of all these, okay? When you were small, you were not treated properly in your family, and that's why it's continuing in your convent or in your seminary. Am I making sense? Okay. Friends, now, what is this training for you? Come out of your ego frames. What is? Don't have any expectation. Friends, this is what you do. This is something little difficult for you initially. If you say, I don't have any expectations of people, I'm not expecting people to love me, but rather I love my inner child. Say this, okay? I don't expect everybody to understand me, but I understand my inner child. Okay? I don't expect any, friends, sometimes this might happen, okay? You had a feast. You spent 3 hours in the chapel decorating the chapel. And, the altar, you decorated so well. Excellent antependium. You spent 3-4 hours at night. And morning, the formator appreciated the liturgist, the catering committee, the reception committee, all these people, but they did not mention a word about you. Okay, they didn't affirm you at all. Maybe you spent more time than those people. And now you feel, I'm treated unjustly. What you will have to do is simple. Go to your room and say, friends, it's difficult, okay? But we have to train our mind. I have to say, okay, I don't expect affirmation from my superior, but I want to affirm my inner child, okay? Take the teddy bear, hold it, or a pillow, and say, Junior, you spent 3 hours decorating. You did so well. I'm happy with you. You give a hug, you give a kiss to your inner child. Am I clear? You keep doing it every day, and over time, friends, all your frames will be gone. Okay, like St. Francis, you'll be happy anywhere with anybody. Friends, when you remove all your frames, your community life, your relationship will be excellent. Friends, it's not that easy. We have to work on it. Like when I went to Goa, when the girls said, get out, I didn't feel very happy right away. Okay, I felt hurt. I thought, a little girl telling me, get out. I'm not a thief. I'm not a robber. She's asking me to get out. So there is anger. And then I said, oh, this anger is coming from my frame. Am I clear? Friends, if somebody tells lie in your community, you get hurt so much. Okay, you have a friend. You wanted that friend to be loyal. You shared some secrets with your friend, but afterwards you realize this person has become radio station. Okay, radio or a radio station or TV. That person telecast and broadcast whatever you said. Now you are so hurt. Why? Because you have a frame. People have to be loyal. People have to be truthful. Nobody should tell a lie. Now what we have to do is, well, let me change my frame. Am I clear? Okay. Friends, maybe there's one event I want to share with you when it comes to ego attachment. Friends, I'm not saying you should not have ego. It's natural to have ego. So acknowledge your ego, but make it a self, that ego should become a self-love rather than selfishness. What is selfishness? Okay, I want to be happy. I want to be cozy. I want to be comfortable. Even if others die, no problem. And that is selfishness. What is self-love? Live and let live. I want to be happy. I want others to be happy. Okay, friends. Friends, if you can take down today the number of frames you have in mind. Okay, maybe after this session, take down 10 or 20. What are the expectations you have about your community? What are the things you expect from your community, from your family, from the world? Okay, take down all that and slowly start working on them and offer this to Jesus and say, Jesus, take away all these frames. No expectations whatsoever. Okay? Yeah. Once you remove your expectations, you are not hurt. Yeah, you are hurt, but that it gets processed and it dissolves within no time. Friends, it's natural to be upset when they don't acknowledge you. It's natural to be upset when people tell lie, when people manipulate, when people are not recognizing you or they're not loving you, sure. But if you are able to become aware of your frame, and then you can come out of it. Okay? Friends, the frames will be there till the end of our life. Difficult to get rid of them, but you become aware of the frames. Am I clear? Friends, I'm not saying if somebody says get out, immediately I should be happy. No, 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 no. I felt angry when that girl said, get out. But it lasted maybe for a minute. Afterwards, the moment I remembered, this is my frame. But the real happiness is what St. Francis said. Even at that moment, somebody says, get out. If you are able to be happy, then, that ego attachment is gone. Friends, when I got out of that house, I was really feeling happy. Why? Because I was able to go beyond this frame. I have to be respected. I have to be acknowledged and all that. Am I clear? Yeah. Okay. Friends, now let me give you the example of somebody who had this ego attachment, who came out of it. Okay. Friends, most of you or everybody here would be aware of Michelangelo, right? And there was also, he was a sculptor. There was also a good artist called Raphael. Let me tell you something about these two guys. Friends, in the beginning of the 16th century, Pope Sixtus in Rome, Pope Sixtus, he wanted to build this Vatican palace, the residence of our Pope. First, he wanted to build this palace. While building this, he employed two artists. One was Michelangelo, who was a sculptor, okay, and the other one was Raphael, who was a painter. He was an artist, fresco painter, okay. Now, Pope asked Raphael, inside the corridor, he asked Raphael to do all paintings. Friends, these are the, these are some of the paintings of Raphael. See, they are so nice, right? So all along the corridor, he was painting, okay? And Michelangelo was asked to sculpt statues. Friends, this is from Raphael. See, these are the statues, okay, sculpted by Michelangelo. Moses, an angel, Pieta, David, and all this, many statues he made, okay? So both were excellent artists. Michelangelo was a sculptor and Raphael was a painter, okay? Friends, Pope Sixtus, somehow he had more respect for Michelangelo because of his character. He had excellent character. And what Pope Sixtus did, he started consulting Michelangelo for any advice. If he needed any suggestion, he would go to Michelangelo rather than Raphael. Okay? Pope liked Michelangelo better because of an excellent character. Now, friends, if you're a good person, you understand, people around you feel jealous of you, right? So Raphael grew jealous of Michelangelo. Why? Pope was consulting Michelangelo and not Raphael. Okay? He grew so jealous. During lunchtime, he was having lunch with his companions who were helping him with the painting. He used to ask those guys, hey guys, how can we discredit Michelangelo? We have to do something. The Pope should even start hating Michelangelo. So every day they were discussing what we can do with this Michelangelo. We have to really, discredit him, bring him down. Okay. After 2-3 months of plotting, they came up with a plan, a scheme to bring down Michelangelo. Okay. Michelangelo finished all the sculptures, he finished all his sculpting. Pope loved all those sculptures very much. And he appreciated Michelangelo. Raphael became all the more jealous. One morning, Raphael approached Pope and said, His Holiness, I've got a suggestion. He said, what? See, I'm painting the corridors of Vatican Palace. And then finally, we have this chapel, big chapel. Now we call it Sistine Chapel. Okay, Sistine Chapel. So why don't you ask Michelangelo to paint Sistine Chapel? Pope said, my dear man, Michelangelo is a statue maker, sculptor. He's not a painter. He's not an artist that way. He said, oh, no. His Holiness, he's a good a painter also. If you compel him, he will do it. Okay. Actually, Michelangelo was not a painter. He was just a sculptor. He was used to this chisel and hammer, not to painting brush. He was not good at that. But Raphael said a lie. He told the Pope that he was a great painter. Okay. So Pope called Michelangelo, said, you have finished all sculptures, right? Statues. Go to the chapel and take the Bible. Go from book of Genesis unto book of Revelation. Take all important portraits and then portray them in the chapel, on the top, ceiling, side, everywhere, walls. You draw paintings. They must be portraying the events of the Bible. Michelangelo said, His Holiness, I am a good sculptor, but I have not touched the brush with my hand. Pope said, nothing doing. Under obedience, you got to do it. And he went away. In fact, Michelangelo even fought with the Pope and went back to Florence. You know what Pope did? He sent a band of soldiers, arrested Michelangelo, brought him back, and he said, hey, guy, you have no choice at all. You got to paint by all means. Okay. Now, Michelangelo was in soup. He was in trouble. Why, Friends, those days they were doing something called not simple painting. It's called a fresco painting. Now, I'll tell you what fresco painting is. Okay. Friends, supposing you are drawing on a canvas, you are drawing something. You make a mistake. You can throw the canvas. You can do painting on another canvas. You can keep changing canvas. No problem. You can make mistake. But in fresco painting, you cannot make mistake. So what is this fresco painting? Okay. Formerly, they were doing fresco painting. That means you have paint everything ready. When they are building wall, at the end, they have the cement plaster, wet plaster. When that wet plaster is applied on the wall, it is smooth. That time you have to start painting. Am I clear? There is wet paint, wet wall, wet cement, that plaster. On that you have to paint. You have to be accurate. Supposing you make a mistake in that wet wall, what will happen? It creates a smudges, and then you will have to bring down the whole wall and rebuild once more. Friends, no builder will keep on building and then pull down the wall. They are not happy. Okay. So you cannot make mistake. Every touch should be perfect. Now, Michelangelo never even touched a brush. Now, Michelangelo was so angry with Raphael because he knew this was a plot of Raphael. You know what Michelangelo did? He went to a nearby Franciscan chapel and he used to cry a lot in the chapel. Friends, at that time, there was a little wooden statue of Pieta, Mother Mary with a dead Jesus on the lap, crying. So he said, Mother Mary, you were crying over Jesus, right? Now I'm crying over this new assignment given to me. I'm also in pain. He kept on crying. Okay, friends. Afterwards, he waited for a few days, went back to Pope. Pope said nothing doing. Under obedience, you got to paint. You get some helpers and go ahead. He said, just 2 more years. You will have to finish that entire chapel. Now he had no choice. Then he asked Pope, give me 6 months grace time. He said, take whatever time you want, but you have altogether 2 years. You will have to complete all the paintings. So now he said, Jesus, if you are giving me this gift of painting, please reveal that to me. He wanted to practice on canvas. When he drew, it was really disgusting. It didn't come out well. He threw it, drew on another canvas. Not good. Friends, after a few times, slowly his drawing was getting better and better, better and better. They say in 6 months, he tried on maybe 3,000 pieces of canvas. Finally, he became confident. Friends, he went to the chapel. He had his own assistants, and then they started painting. Okay. You all know when artists are painting, they don't exhibit, display it to other people. It is all done in secret. Okay. Yeah. So Raphael was painting the corridors, and Michelangelo was painting inside the chapel. When everything was done on the day of opening, okay, friends, the Pope and all the VIPs, king, ministers, they all entered. The Pope blessed this one, okay. And when they went to the corridor, they admired Raphael's painting. Good. But when they entered Sistine Chapel, friends, they were flabbergasted. They had a pleasant surprise. You know what? Michelangelo's painting was much, much better than Raphael's painting. Okay, friends. And then Pope called Michelangelo and said, hey, Michael, what is this? You're so humble. When I asked you, you said you are not a good artist. See, look at this. It's masterpiece. The way you have drawn, much better than Raphael's painting. Okay, friends, you know what Pope did? He called Raphael. He gave him little money. Okay, and the money he needed, and said, okay, go back home. He called Michelangelo and said, hey, you are a great man. Okay, I really trust you. You have drawn wonderfully well. And then he made him the architect. See, first he was a sculptor, then he became a painter. Third, he said, I trust you. You are the architect who's going to build a St. Peter's Basilica. Am I clear? So Michelangelo is the architect of St. Peter's Basilica. You know, that is the official church, or the head of this entire church, St. Peter's Basilica, where our Pope is residing nearby. Okay, friends. Now, when Michelangelo drew those paintings in the Sistine Chapel, right in the center, he drew this one. Okay. Friends, you're all familiar with this painting, right? Like Adam extending his hand, and God the Father also extending his hand. Both are touching. So we are all familiar with this. Okay. Friends, something beautiful about Michelangelo was this. Raphael just drew. Michelangelo, he put some symbolic expressions in every painting. People had to interpret it. You know, you have to find the meaning. He never opened his mouth. He said, you interpret, people. Friends, there was theology, theological interpretation, or a symbolism in every painting. Friends, you have seen this particular painting, right? Now you try to interpret what Michelangelo was trying to say. Okay. Friends, you look at God the Father here. Do you see around God the Father, there is a robe, right? There is a shawl, robe. Carefully look at this robe. Friends, it's a size of, or it's a shape is similar to the shape of our brain. Am I clear? See, this is a human brain. Michelangelo drew it, and it was the shape is similar to the shape of the brain. Friends, from this, he was actually giving a message to Raphael. You know what he said? Hey, Raphael, you were trying to take revenge on me. You were trying to discredit me. I want to tell you something. While you were painting, you were using your brain. Okay. And he said, you know what I did? I did not use this brain. My brain is God. God the Father. Okay, I got in touch with God the Father. I turned the Bluetooth on and God the Father guided me and I have drawn. Am I clear? Friends, so Michelangelo says, my brain is not here and that is my brain. So friends, if you are able to have this similar humility, then, all your relationship will become great. See, when somebody was trying to really harm Michelangelo, instead of going tit for tat, revenge, avenging, what he did, he converted that into a gift, and he was just a sculptor. After, he accepted this ego attachment. He went beyond ego attachment. He became a painter, later on architect. Today, everybody or most people in the world know about Michelangelo, but very few people know about Raphael. See, right now, after my telling, you know about Raphael. Otherwise, you didn't know. Am I clear? So, friends, you want to have a good relationship in your community, you go beyond your ego attachment. Okay? Remove the frames, not permanently. Frames are with us. Be aware of this frame and surrender to Jesus. Okay? You would have a great community life. So we have 40 days at our disposal. Can you practice these two? Go beyond your comfort attachment. Okay? And go beyond your ego attachment. You start giving love and affirmation to your inner child, but don't expect it from your community, but receive it from above. Okay, friends? Good. Friends, it's time. Now, before we wind up, I have a good news. Okay. Friends, for all the Formees, see, I've just given you an orientation into inner child. But, friends, we are all wounded, right? We want to be healed. In fact, we have 2 programs for the Formees this month and next month. Okay. Friends, we have a Healing the Inner Child seminar for the Formees, for you all. Even regular religious people want to come join, you're most welcome. Friends, in March, okay, 27th to April 1st, we have Healing of the Inner Child, but that will be in Tamil, the local language, Tamil. So those who are able to make it, you Formees, you're all most welcome. We are posting these brochures in our WhatsApp group. Please go through those details and you are most welcome. You can register and you can come. Friends, that will be a great healing experience for everybody. Okay, these 3 talks are just a little introduction to that seminar. And when you come here, you would experience healing if you're open. Then we have another a seminar for the Formees in English. Okay, that will be in English. That will be from April 3rd to April 8th, 6 days. A mosquito entered my mouth. So discomfort. So comfort disturbance I'm having. Okay. Literally a mosquito entered. Okay. So I've taken little soup now. Sorry, I'm supposed to be following abstinence, no non-veg. Now I've taken little non-veg. Okay. God understands. Okay. Yeah. So friends, we have 2 seminars for the Formees. Those of you who are able to make it, you're most welcome. Friends, those who are, friends, this is offline, okay, conducted in Anugraha, okay, campus program. Some of you were asking me, why don't you do it online? Friends, online, now we had little lecture, that's all we can do. Very difficult to hold therapies, that's our problem. So those who are able to physically come here, you are most welcome. Others can practice these 2 through these 40 days and you might experience healing. Okay, friends. Now for our formators, friends, from tomorrow till Saturday, 3 days, we have sessions for formators. It's around the social media and our religious life, priestly life. Okay. How we have to handle the media and how we can use this for our formation. Okay, friends. So formators, those who have not registered, you are most welcome. Friends, for formators abroad, like in Africa and all that, I know there's a problem with payment. Okay. If you have a little problem with payment, please come and join us free. Don't worry. No. So money should not be a big problem. So anybody is welcome. Okay. Formators, please get registered. Okay. Friends, thank you one and all for the good support and cooperation you have extended. I think Father Sagai Raj is here. He's the coordinator of this program. He's the Dean of Studies. So over to Father Sagai Raj.
So good evening, dear friends. Good evening to each one of you. I would like to extend our gratitude to Fr.Wilson, who has been guiding you for the past 3 days. You know, he's very thorough with the topic. He has been animating very many courses, very many groups, and therefore it's like eating chocolate for him. And therefore it is easy, and he took it up on him, and he has explained in detail during these 3 talks. So thank you so much, Wilson, for taking time to speak to our Formees. And friends, I know your formators are also there. The formators can join tomorrow for the sessions. Only the request is, even if you have registered for Formees program, please register also for the formators program. Okay. And someone has asked the fee for the inner child, healing the inner child program. Usually it is supposed to be 4,000, but for the sake of the Formees, we are charging 3,000 for this healing the inner child program. Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Friends, even though I'm taking sessions on healing the inner child, actually Father Sagai Raj is completing his PhD on inner child. So he's a bigger authority. Yeah. Thank you all so much. And a special thanks to our hosts, Brother Ben and Anusha, for a great. Father, are you done? Father Sagai Raj?
Yes, Father.
Are you done? You're finished?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
So special thanks to both Brother Ben and Miss Anusha for being a great hosts. They are the anchor people. They are also coordinating this program along with Father Sagai Raj. So friends, we will continue to meet you almost every month, and you are all most welcome to join us. Hope you had a good time with us. Later on, we can evolve the different ways of addressing you all. You can also participate by singing, by different contributions you can make, by doing sharing. We will be coming up with more ways of communicating message in an effective way. Okay. So thank you, one and all. God bless. Have a wonderful day and a great Lenten season. Thank you.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you.